Well, we are back now with Charmaine from Anyana Kai. We talked last week about living healthy and how we can do that, some of the things that you do. We talked about, I think it was HCG last week. Did I just make those letters up?
No, you didn't make them up.
Oh my gosh,
is that
I
what we
remembered
talked
something
about?
for a whole week.
Because I certainly can't. So
that is impressive.
That's really
normally
good.
My brain does not fire that well. That's kind of impressive.
With the sinuses and the neck thing right now? Well, listen, you're going to lead the memory show today.
Because you haven't had much sleep,
no,
so
a couple hours.
You've been traveling. Let's talk about the lymphatic system. Speaking of, sinuses and draining, the lymphatic system, how does it work in our body?
The lymphatic system is the absolute most underlooked at important aspect of health, healing, mobility. The system's amazing. And I remember when I first got really interested in it, I think I was 14 years old and I just finished my 2-year massage degree. And, the lady was a nurse from Europe that taught us, and now she owns one of the largest massage schools up in Michigan. And she always talked about pushing the lymph and getting the lymph draining. So I'm a visual person. So I'm looking everywhere trying to find, I want to see what the lymph system looks like in the body. I couldn't find it in any of my A&P books. I went to medical libraries. I mean, I was searching high and low and in between and just absolutely could find nothing. It was very discouraging. And then somebody turned me on to Vodder. And he is this amazing artist that did a lot of A&P, anatomy and physiology renditions. And it was beautiful. And when I saw the pictures, I was blown away because the system has more lymphatic vessels than you have veins, arteries, and capillaries put together times about 2. And there's an open system and there's a closed system, and you have somewhere between 500 and 900 lymph nodes in your body.
Now, see, the only ones I ever think of are in my neck, in my throat here. That's the only ones you ever think of.
Well, because
and whenever you first feel sick, this is what you do. Or
right.
I do that to my kids. Well, let me feel your lymph nodes and see if they're swollen.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And that's the one that a lot of times people get removed as well. But if you look at it this way, the simplest way for me to explain the function, the structure, and the function of the lymphatic system is you can have no pain and no disease if your lymphatic system is working properly. Again, that's no pain, no disease if your lymphatic system is working properly. And then we have situations like your last guest mentioned from Kerr, where cancer patients, a lot of times with breast cancer, they get their entire axillary. And here there's could be 9, 15, 17 lymph nodes. They remove all of those. So then what ends up happening is if you consider it like a pearl necklace here, and I cut out these two, now you've got a gap between the rest of the system.
So nothing goes through.
Right. So you're going to have a lot of stagnation, a lot of backup, a lot of residual, a lot of what we call edema. And in this particular case, they call it lymphedema. So one of the causes can be surgery for lymphedema. Another cause can be scar tissue. Sometimes it can be too tight of clothing. And a lot of time it really comes down to just the terrain of your body has been so polluted that it gets sludge-like and oftentimes cement. And that's when we would refer to it medically as a term like chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, something to that effect.
So are there some things that we can use, some health products or I'm always on people, they don't drink enough water, they need to be drinking more water. Is it that simple?
It can be. But if you're drinking tap water, let's face it, you're getting your daily dose of mycotoxin off the lake combined with some birth control. So you're getting a daily dose of birth control. You're getting a daily dose of Prozac or Valium and a daily dose of antibiotic combined with fluorine and chlorine, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on.
So you need to be drinking the right water.
So if you drink the right water, but then you're drinking it out of plastic, because water is so cleansing, it's going to suck that plastic right out of the bottle, and you are drinking straight up estrogen water now. So again, there's only 2% of the population that's overweight from overeating. The rest is overweight because they're overtoxic. So since water tends to be at the top of the list, as far as important things that you can do for your health, it would prove prudent to make sure that you're getting a really good, healthy source of water. So yeah, water is something that becomes really, really important and essential for good lymphatic flow, but it also has to do with movement because the lymphatic system is set up, it has no central pump like the cardiovascular system does, the heart to the cardiovascular system. So if you move the lymph.
Makes sense.
Every single lymph vessel is by an articulating joint. So movement of any kind pumps the lymphatic system. So that's why exercise becomes so important and paramount to health, because that movement is going to increase lymphatic flow, which in turn is going to help assimilation of any nutrients and the elimination of any toxins, because most people look at it as the bloodstream's delivering the nutrition to the cell. And that is not the truth. It's actually the lymphatic system that's delivering the nutrition to the cell and then removing the waste product afterwards.
All makes sense. You can learn about this and much more. All you have to do is go to Anyana Kai. Hey, we have a steal the deal too. Go to our website, NBC24.com. You can get a great deal when you go to Anyana Kai. It is a $20 one-day spa pass. I'm telling you, you can't beat that. So get that spa pass, go to Anyana Kai and learn all of these healthy living tips. We'll be right back on Better Living.